Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you the best way to get started in AI in 2026. Let's do it. All right, so we're about 3 or 4 years into this AI revolution, and the market is starting to get a little saturated. We have AI automation agencies popping up all over the place, building small businesses, templates and automations in make.com or N8N. And if you're trying to start your own AI automation agency in 2026 or get into the game, you might look around and just be like, man, this is, I'm too late. What do I do? How do I get started? The good news is this video is for you guys, okay? I'm gonna tell you the best way to get started in AI in 2026, and it's not gonna be building like one-off templates in Make or N8N. That's not what it's gonna be. You're gonna have, by the end of this video, a very clear way to carve out your own niche in AI that is a much more scalable and sustainable way to build a business than all these kind of AI automation agencies building these make.com templates for a couple $1,000s, all right? So that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. So let's get into it. What the heck am I talking about? All right, so when I started my AI automation agency a couple years ago, I was basically just trying to make any money I could. I would hop on a client call. They need a content generation system, for example, and I'd pitch them, hey, I can build that in make.com for $2,500, $3,000, whatever. And then what I would do is I would spend the next 2 weeks building that content gen system in Make, going back and forth with the client, revising, optimizing, improving until they were finally happy enough to pay me money. This isn't sustainable. And this is what most AI automation agencies are doing today, okay? And this is not where I want you to start because this isn't scalable for a couple different reasons. The main being you're spending all of your time building these templates, building these one-off systems that you then hand off to the client and you never hear from them again, okay? You don't really get them on a maintenance fee. You don't get them on a monthly retainer. You build it, they pay you one time, they're gone, and then you need to go source new leads and close more deals. It's not sustainable. Anytime you're spending sourcing deals or closing deals, you're not spent building. Anytime you're spending building, you're not closing more deals. So it doesn't work. So how do we solve for this? How do we get out of this kind of one-off, templatized, cheap AI automation position where we're just selling these templates for a couple $1,000 and then having to repeat the whole thing? How do we get out of this? Well, the answer is very simple. In 2026, I don't want you to sell those one-off templates that you have to make yourself. I want you to leverage AI as your infrastructure in a managed service offer to your clients. What the heck does that mean? Okay. So instead of building one-off templates and selling them, what I want you to do is actually offer your expertise, your knowledge in AI, and deliverables that can be generated with AI, with the help of AI, into a managed service monthly retainer. All right, so let me give you an example so you understand what I'm talking about. Instead of building a $2,500 content generation make.com template, selling that, building it, and then handing it off to a client and never to hear from them again, what I'd rather you do is find a really good AI blog post writer or AI content generation writer that you pay a couple $100s a month for or even less, and then use that infrastructure that somebody else has already built and perfected to then bundle as value inside of your managed service strategic offering, okay? So instead of selling a one-off blog content system, I would say, hey client, I'll charge you $2,000 a month. I will guarantee 20 blog posts written to your blog every month on your website. I promise guidance, strategy, and experience in setting the direction and tone of your SEO strategy here. All right. And that is what you can charge the money for. Okay. So now you're charging for your brain, your experience, and your knowledge, your strategic thinking, as well as the actual deliverable, which is the AI generated content. And you're basically just charging that as a managed service fee for much, much more than you could sell just like a one-off template for. So in summary, you're not selling templates, you're selling results. You're selling 20 blog posts a month and strategy and experience and guidance. You're not selling them the actual tool that generates those articles for them, okay? You don't need to know how to write code. You don't need to build a SaaS product. You don't have to have a huge audience in order to do this. You just need 1 or 2 really good AI tools, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and then your brain. And at that point, you can start to offer these managed service offers and close deals. I have a really cool article here that we wrote about how to kind of set up one of these done-for-you managed service offers. And so check that out if you have time. This Notion document will be listed down below, so you can always go check it out if you need to. All right, so now that we know we want to set up a managed service agency as opposed to like a one-off automation build agency, that's great, but what exactly do I do now? Okay, so like what managed service should I offer? Okay, so there's a bunch of different options here. I'll tell you my 3 favorite, and then I'll give you kind of a really cool way that you can kind of maybe combine all of them. My 3 favorite, the first we've already talked about, is content generation. I think that's a little bit harder to sell than the other ones we're about to talk about. But like I said, you could go to a client and say, hey, we're going to help you boost your SEO. You pay me $2,500 a month. We will post 20 blog post articles to your site every single month. You don't have to do a thing. We'll handle it all. We will also offer our strategy, guidance, and SEO expertise to make sure that these articles align with your brand. We trigger the right keywords. We rank you up on Google, et cetera, et cetera. The second one that I think is really working well right now is a voice agent managed service offer, where, for example, you go to a local service-based business that maybe has 2 or 3 customer service reps that they're paying full time. And you say, hey, instead of having to pay those folks salary and benefits every month, we will basically offer you a customer support inbound AI voice agent call center in Vappy. For example, you could build a voice agent in Vappy, and we will manage that for you. We'll make sure it's running. We'll do maintenance, etc. And you just pay us $3,000 a month. All right. So that's another offer. Again, not much work after the initial setup. Not much work at all. Just kind of maintenance and making sure everything's running. So that's another really good one you can do. Again, the idea there is you use a really strong AI tool that's already built for you in Vappy. That's pretty cheap. And you package the results that you can get from Vappy with your brain to then package that into a pretty nicely priced managed service monthly fee. Now, my favorite managed service offer that you can run right now in 2026 is a lead generation managed service offer. This type of offer would go something like this. Hey client, I am going to generate you leads, run completely customized, personalized AI outbound campaigns across email and LinkedIn and potentially voice to book more meetings to your calendar every month so that you can hop on those meetings and close more clients. I like this offer for a couple different reasons. One is it's an incredibly easy sell. You're directly appealing to somebody's need to increase their top line revenue. So in the first 2 examples, especially the first one, when you're providing a content generation DFY service, you really have to prove to the client that, hey, this increase in SEO traffic is going to translate into revenue. Same thing with the voice agent customer support managed service offer. It's a little easier to prove to the client the ROI on that because you can have cost savings on the people that you don't need to hire as part of your customer support team. But you still have to prove that that cost savings is worth the cost that they're paying you. With this DFY lead generation service, it's super easy to prove the ROI on it. For example, if you're charging $3,000 a month for a lead generation service to a client, and every single deal that they close, let's say that client is charging, I don't know, $3,000 a month for their clients, and every single client stays with them for 12 months on average. Well, that means every single deal that they close is worth $36,000 a year to that client. And if you're charging $3,000 a month, well, you just need to close 1 client ever, and the ROI is equal. Anything above that is gravy. And so my point here is that the ROI sell is incredibly easy because you're directly translating leads into top line revenue. So I love it for that reason. The second reason I love a lead generation managed service offer is because there's a really cool tool that we built named Victoria AI that can actually now manage these outbound lead generation campaigns for you. So instead of having to pay a lead gen agency or build your own make.com or Anyden template that will break and won't work, you can just use Victoria, which I've talked about in a bunch of different videos, to essentially generate these leads for you on behalf of your clients. Okay, so you could sign a client for $3,000 a month, say, hey, we're going to book meetings for you. Then you hop onto Victoria for just a couple $100s a month. It's super cheap. Generate them leads on their behalf, and you take the difference. So it's really, really cool. Now, AI lead gen is in a really cool spot right now because all this manual work that we used to have to do to run outbound campaigns and generate cold leads, we can do it all automatically now. So custom research, custom personalization for every lead, personalized messaging, sequencing, sending across multiple channels at one time in a coordinated outbound campaign, tracking and reporting. All of this stuff can be done now automatically from inside Victoria. So all the hard work is done for you guys as part of this, DFY lead generation managed service. So this is why it's probably my favorite offer. Now, I've made a bunch of videos on how you could set up an automated outbound campaign to generate you leads or generate your clients leads. So I will have this in the Notion document linked down below in the comments to go take a look at. But it's incredibly easy to set up. Victoria is built for basically agency work, so you can offer this to your clients super easily, and it's very, very cheap. So those are the ways I would potentially, get into the managed service offer. I will say one little nugget here before we move on is we are working on a client right now. We haven't closed this deal yet, but we are working on a client right now where we kind of combine all three of those offers into one giant managed service. So instead of charging $2,000 a month for the content generation, $3,000 a month for the customer service voice agent, and another like $2,000 or $3,000 for the lead generation, we're kind of bundling all of that in together into a giant monthly fee of $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, where we do all of that for them on their behalf automatically. The idea is the same. We're going to leverage really good AI tools that are going to make our jobs easier, package those tools with our brain, our experience, our knowledge, and our expertise into these managed service retainers. All right, so that is how I would get started. Now, how do I close these deals? Okay, so we know we don't want to set up, a basic AI automation agency that, we're building one-off templates. And now we know kind of where we want to get started, maybe with content, voice agents, or lead gen. That's great, Alex. That's whoop-de-doodle-do. How do we actually close these clients now? That's the hard part. I get somebody on a call. How do I close these clients? Well, let me give you some expertise based off what I've seen in my own company here in the last couple months. You don't need 20 case studies. You don't need to have a big agency. You don't have to, have been around for a while. You can be a complete newbie, all right? But you do need proof, okay? You do need proof. The more proof that you can give somebody, the better. Now, it's never been easier to generate proof on these sales calls. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, let's say you were doing a content generation sales call. You're trying to sell a content generation managed service. You could easily, hop onto like a content generation AI tool and generate 3 free blog posts for them and just give it to them for free. Say, hey, here's the type of blog post I can write for you, every single day. And if they're good enough, they'll be like, okay. You could also just generate blog posts for your own company for like 2 or 3 months and actually show them a chart of how your SEO ranking improves on Google. So you can do that. If you're doing the voice agent managed service, well, that's incredibly easy in Vappy to go in and set up a demo and actually have the client, the prospective client, talk to a demo customer service support agent or whatever to show them proof of how good the product is. And then same thing on like the lead gen. If you were to use Victoria and you wanted to show them some results and prove to them that you could generate leads on their behalf, well, just set up a campaign for yourself, for your own company. Generate a couple leads over the span of 2 or 3 weeks. And then, you have a very nice dashboard where you can actually, show them exactly the results you're getting and how you could translate to them. All right. So you need proof. The next thing you need is expertise. Okay. Now remember, the key to these managed service offers is A, you need proof of deliverable, which we just talked about. But B, you need to prove that your brain, your expertise, your strategy and guidance is worth the monthly fee. Okay, remember, we're packaging AI-generated deliverables with our intelligence, knowledge, expertise, and experience. All right, and that combination together is where we're going to get our best managed service monthly retainers. All right, so how do we improve our expertise? Well, it's a good thing we live in a really great world of free information. So you at any point can hop on YouTube. I have so many videos on how to generate free content, how to build these systems that can generate content. There's tools all over the internet that can generate this content for you for free on free trials, etc. I have so many videos on Vappy and how to build voice agents, so you can always go check that out if you wanted to do the voice agent managed service. And then if you want to do lead gen, if you wanted to use Victoria to do lead gen, we've actually made a 2-hour free course here on AI Outbound 101, we're calling it, which teaches you exactly everything you need to know in order to run a DFY lead generation managed service. It'll show you how to pull leads, where to pull leads, how to personalize, how to craft your sequences, what type of messaging works, how you should craft your icebreakers, what kind of offers you should do as part of a cold outbound campaign, etc. It's all in this video. It's all completely free. Again, this will be linked down below, but there's no excuse to not be able to become an expert in something in the span of a couple weeks these days. So you just got to get in the trenches and get in there and learn, okay? And then the last thing you need, and we've kind of been talking about this, is you need the infrastructure, okay? And so, if we're promising that we're going to be able to build, a voice agent, customer support agent, if we are promising 20 blog posts a month, if we're promising a certain number of leads a month, we have to be able to deliver those. And in the past, at the beginning of the AI revolution, again, you would have to build these systems yourself in N8N or Make. You don't need to do that anymore. There's all these very established, mature companies that are providing all of these AI deliverables for you for cheap monthly fees. So just tap into one of those and then take that spread between that cost and what you're charging the client for your monthly services. All right. So again, all these tools, they're cleaning things up. You don't have to build the templates. You don't have to pay a VA, spreadsheets, inconsistent workflows, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to worry about any of it anymore. You can just plug into something like Victoria and it's all done for you. It's all built for you. Okay. I do have a link here to Victoria if you did want to go sign up. It's free to sign up and go snoop around and check it out. And so I'll have that also in the Notion document. All right, so let's say we close a deal now. So we close a deal. We are now making monthly recurring revenue as part of some sort of managed service offer. This is incredible news. Remember, that monthly recurring revenue, that's the lifeblood to every business. That is stability. That is peace of mind. That is comfort. That is life. And so when you close one of those deals, you should go celebrate and celebrate all your success, because those deals are hard to close. But now once you get one of those deals and you've got a little safety net, what does it actually look like? Is this the kind of business that you would like to run? Well, I think it is, because these DFY services, most of these, it's a lot of upfront work one time to get everything set up. And then afterwards, it's kind of just a gravy train. It's very stable. It's very consistent. There's not much work to do once you get everything set up and automated with the help of AI. So let me give you a couple examples. Let's go back to our first example of content generation. You go find a content generation tool. There's a bunch of them out there. And maybe once a month you meet with the client and you say, hey, okay, your 20 blog posts this month. I think we're going to go after these keywords because I think this would translate more to sales for you. They go, okay, sounds good. And then what you do is you help guide them. So maybe you come up with 50 or 60 blog post titles that you think they might like to post that month, and you send them a list. And then, they pick 20 of them that they like. And then all you have to do is hop onto your content generation platform, generate those articles, maybe do a quick review and schedule them for posting. At that point, you're kind of done. Maybe you do a weekly check-in call to go over results, to go over SEO, analytics, KPIs, etc. But that's kind of it. For the voice agent customer support, it's similar. Let's say you have a company that has 3 customer support agents and you're going to basically offer them a much cheaper, AI call center for $3,000 a month. What does that life look like? What does that business look like? Well, it's going to take you about a week or 2 to actually build the call center. Okay, that's going to be the hardest part. You can do that yourself, or you can pay somebody to do that. It doesn't matter. And then what you do is everything's set up, and you're just going to run, maintain, and optimize that. Maybe hop on a weekly call with a client to make sure that everything is sounding good on their end, making sure that they haven't run into any bugs or anything, or they're getting good, good feedback from their clients, and maybe tweak the prompt a little bit. Maybe add a couple different bells and whistles that you need. But the hard work is done, and you're just managing it, running it for them. They don't have to worry about anything. For the lead generation service, it's exactly the same. So you go into Victoria, you set up one campaign one time, you pull a lead list one time, you craft the messaging one time with them on like a kickoff call or a kickoff strategy call. And then you hit activate on the campaign and you don't have to do anything. The leads will basically pour in automatically as Victoria goes out and sends messages on your behalf, completely personalized, completely automated in perpetuity. Now, what you'll have to do every week is probably hop on a call with a client, go over results, like, hey, we booked 4 meetings with you this week. We got 20 positive responses. We think we can improve in these 3 areas. So we're going to try that in the next couple of weeks. And then you continually refine and optimize those campaigns as you need. But again, the hard work is done up front, and you kind of sit there and just cash in with slight maintenance, tweaks, and optimizations as you go. All right. We have a full course here. If you were going to do the lead gen managed service offer that I've been talking about, we have an entirely free course here on our school community, which walks you through everything you need to know about getting set up in Victoria and also how to build, outbound campaigns that deliver leads. Okay, so that's all there for you in this Notion document as well. Hey guys, just want to slide in here real fast and show you Victoria AI, which we've kind of been talking about a little bit here in this video, as a really great and cheap way to generate leads for your clients as part of a prospective done-for-you managed service lead generation offer. So let me show you kind of what this looks like in case you're interested. But essentially what we're doing here is we are doing multi-channel automated and personalized outreach across email and LinkedIn channels to book meetings on autopilot for you or your clients. You can see these campaigns are absolutely crushing. We've been running this one for about 2 weeks. We've already got 12 positive responses, multiple booked meetings coming from this campaign, and we haven't touched it in over 2 weeks. These meetings are popping up on our calendar completely automatically, and you can do the same for your clients as part of your managed service offer. All you'd have to do is source a lead list for them, strategize what kind of ICP or ideal customer profile they'd like to target as part of their campaign, create some personalization fields, and then actually upload your sequence across LinkedIn and email. And then you're ready to go. All you have to do is hit activate, and this system is generating leads for you or your clients completely automatically in perpetuity. So it's absolutely sick. So if you're interested in using the Victoria AI outbound SDR system to help package in a done-for-you managed service lead generation offer, just get down into the description below. I'll have a link to Victoria AI where you can go sign up for free or get in touch with me and I can help you get onboarded completely for free too. So anyways, thank you guys so much. Let's get back to the video. Okay, and then lastly, we just want to talk about why this is the best way to get started in AI. You should have a pretty good idea now of kind of what the offer is here and what I'm suggesting you do. But there's a bunch of different benefits here. One is it's super simple to launch a managed service for somebody. You don't need a lot of expertise on how to build super complicated automated AI systems in Make or N8N, which could take months to learn how to do. You don't need to, be an AI expert necessarily. You do need some knowledge, but you don't need to be like a technical wizard to get started here. As long as you can show proof that what you're doing works and you can talk the talk on a sales call and have some expertise in that realm, you can sell these packages for not too much effort. Okay, they're easy to sell, especially the lead generation one and the voice agent one, because you can directly tie those to ROI, either in cost savings or in uptick in revenue. Everybody needs help. Everybody wants to get involved with AI. All these small businesses, all these medium-sized businesses, they want to be on the edge of this AI wave. They know they need to be at the forefront of it or they're going to get lost and left behind. A lot of them don't know how to do it or don't have time to do it. And they would rather pay you a little more per month to do it all for them so that they can say we're doing AI and that they can, reap the benefits of using AI for their business to book more leads or whatever. And they'll pay you to do that instead of having to learn it themselves because they're super busy or they just don't understand AI. My favorite thing, actually my second favorite thing, the next one's my favorite thing, but my second favorite thing is that, this isn't a lot of work ongoing. Okay, we've kind of talked about this, how we're using the backbone of AI systems and softwares that are already built to basically power our deliverables. We are using and standing on the shoulders of giants. We're using the softwares that these experts have come before and built for us to then turn around and offer to these clients that we're offering whatever service we're kind of generating for them. These these done for you managed service offers are incredibly high margin. We're talking 90+% margin. And why is that? Well, again, we're packaging cheap AI solutions that we're going to use to deliver results with our brains, which we can charge a lot of money for. And so essentially what we're getting is $3,000, $4,000 a month done for you, white glove monthly retainers for the cost of like a couple $100 in subscription fees to use these AI services that are going to deliver our results. You take the difference. So for example, if I'm running an AI lead gen done for you managed service, I'm charging at least $2,500 a month for that. At least $2,500 a month revenue from my client, from one client. I am then going to plug into Victoria for $200 a month, and I take the spread. So I'm taking $2,300 a month for one client. If I can get 6, 7, 8 clients all running on autopilot, that's a lot of money per month. So that's kind of the idea here. The margin here on these managed service offers is absolutely insane. And that's how we're really using AI in 2026 to make the most money. So those are my thoughts. That is where I would start if I was trying to get into AI in 2026. There's so much opportunity still out there, guys. I'm telling you, I'm on calls every single day, 5, 6, 7 calls a day of small to medium-sized businesses that just need help with AI. They know that they need to do it. They just don't know how to get started. And if you can offer that service to them as part of one of these DFY services, you can really do really well for yourselves. So anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. If you guys like this video, go down and smash that like button for me. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing. That would be awesome. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, get down in the comments and let me know. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I will have this Notion document linked down in the description below as well, so you have access to that, as well as all the other links that we kind of talked about here: Victoria, AI Outbound 101, Victoria U, all that kind of good stuff that can help you guys get started, leveling up your knowledge so that you can start offering these managed services to your clients. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for being here. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.